They've enjoyed some greatness as well.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they've been around Drum Corps for a long time, and this was an organization that 4 years ago, the Cedar Rapids Night Express organization, did a joint venture with them, a very fun and successful summer that we had with them putting a show on together, and we're excited to have them back here performing on their own again here tonight.
Yeah, and as the Blue Stars go through and review, the crowd, again, very appreciative of what they're seeing here tonight. And Blue Stars really put on one heck of a show tonight, and they certainly deserve all the accolades they're getting right now.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk a little bit of what they are doing right now. We know, obviously, Troy and I both are on the board of the Night Express, and we have another guest who we'll be interviewing a little bit later. Ron Thibodeau has just joined us, but what is it why are they marching by? Well, what's that all about?
Well, this is just a salute to the crowd. It's kind of a thank you, appreciation for the crowd support. As you can see, most of the people here are standing, and just they're saying thank you.
We certainly hear the drums doing their thing, and this is a really chance for them to showcase their talents, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Listen to them play off. And, here we go. We got the Knights coming up next, and not too long, right after the intermission, we've got Night Express from Cedar Rapids going on. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that show.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about Troy, your experiences, and how you got involved with Night Express, and why you got involved with Night Express.
Well, I got involved with the Night Express because it's about kids and our youth in our community, and it was an exciting opportunity when I moved to Cedar Rapids almost 5 years ago to be able to get hooked up with this organization, an organization that's looking for growth and trying to increase the number of kids that can participate in our organization. I think it was 1992, we had 46 kids, and we've grown the Corps up into the 70-member range, and we anticipate continuing to do that. We want to give the kids of Cedar Rapids and the surrounding areas the opportunity to come out and participate in this very event.
Well, and I know a lot of that growth obviously goes in thanks to you, but of course Ron Thibodeau, who joined our organization right in, was it 1992, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And he is really taking this Corps really to new levels.
Well, Ron has been a big help to us. Ron has brought in many years of drum corps experience and brought us a full-time manager to really see through the Corps and make sure that the kids are getting the optimal opportunities for educational experience throughout the summer.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I've lived in this community for about 4 years now, moved here from California, and the people I run into in the community that I tell that I'm associated with the Night Express or Emerald Knights, as they were once known. It's amazing how many people have been associated in one way or another with this organization and this community.
That's exactly right. You know, this organization and its roots go all the way back to 1928, and there are so many people out there that have given their time and effort. And I know in thanking Ron for being a part of this, I also want to thank all the many volunteers and the members of the board who have just done an outstanding job of giving countless hours of volunteer time to make this all possible.
Yeah, you certainly can't do it without the volunteers, can you?
No, you certainly can't.
You know, and we talk about the 1929 when this Corps, 1928 when this Corps started, but things have certainly changed since those days.
Yeah, well, it's actually Drum and Bugle Corps has evolved over the years. It used to be very militaristic in its form. Actually, some of the scoring was related to how well the shoes were shined and how well the horns were shined and just how proper they looked. That's still obviously an important part, but it's not a judged portion now. It's become much more of a theatrical presentation.
Yeah, you say that. Now, didn't they used to, in the past, did they not also inspect the horns, and they would actually take apart a horn in front of a member that had to be cleaned just perfectly? Isn't that correct?
That's exactly right.
Well, those times they have a change, and right now we're going to watch the Knights from Quad Cities, and the Quad Cities has, again, produced a marvelous Corps that we can all be proud of in this area, and they're going to show us just how good they are.
Yeah, their program features the title song Sunset Boulevard as well as Surrender, The Perfect Year, Let's Have Lunch, and With One Look.
Well, let's take a listen. exciting show by the Knights. They continue to get better. I saw them last week in the Quad Cities, and they've certainly improved since then.
Yeah, they keep working on it. You know, Mike, one thing that's interesting to note is that the Knights, they actually had their front ensemble out on the field rather down in front than we've seen. That's a little unique, isn't it?
Well, that is different. You know, in the old days, you certainly never saw that. You know, everything was very, well, you know, for lack of a better word, everything was standard. The pit, the front ensemble was always in the very front. Things have certainly changed. But, you know, one of the things, and we talked about, is, you know, the judging in Troy. We talked about that earlier, but exactly what is it they're judging and why?
Well, it's interesting. You'll note out on the field there are 3 judges. They're wearing the green shirts, and we also have 4 judges that are up here in the press box getting different views of the different areas that they're judging. And what they're judging is basically 3 broad captions, and the 3 broad captions are general effect. And basically in general effect what they're looking for is they're scoring for musicality and how the music was appealing to the people that were watching and to the judges, and also from a visual standpoint how it looked, how their marching looked, and how the horns looked and how things looked together.
Yeah, there's another judge, and then, you know, we just saw a shot of the judges in the field. Now we're looking at a judge that's actually down on the field.
Yeah. One of the other areas that they cover is ensemble, and in ensemble what they're doing musically is listening to see are the horns playing in rhythm and together with the same sorts of phrases and music as the drums, and do the flags that are out on the field, are they coordinating?
Yeah.
And also from a visual standpoint they're doing the same thing, coordination of the show from an ensemble standpoint.
There's an interesting shot right now, and as the corps goes by a judge, it's actually telling them and writing down how they did and how they thought of their what she thought of their show.
Yeah, I bet she's hiding her paper there so they can't see it. The third area that they judge in is the performance area, and in performance what they do is they look at the performance within each segment with the brass, with the percussion, and with the visual